Henry Cejudo compared his own experience with Tom Aspinall's recent eye poke incident at UFC 321, expressing his frustration over what he called one of the worst cards in UFC history. Cejudo reflected on the eye poke that occurred in Aspinall's fight, drawing a parallel to his own bout against Song Yadong, where he was also poked in the eye and unable to continue. In that case, the fight was stopped and Song was awarded a technical decision. Cejudo emphasized that such injuries, while rare, can have lasting effects and take a long time to heal. He explained that an eye poke doesn't take much to cause serious damage and that the UFC likely isn't happy about the situation because it disrupts matchmaking and scheduling. Cejudo pointed out that the promotion will now have to rebook the fight, which means more money and more logistical issues. He criticized the overall quality of UFC 321, calling it the worst card in UFC history, from the co-main event to the main event. According to him, everything from judging to fight outcomes was disappointing, leaving fans and fighters alike frustrated. Cejudo continued by talking about his own recovery process from the eye injury he suffered, noting that even weeks later his eye still reacts to things like pollution, turning red due to lingering scar tissue. He said that it can take nearly a year for the eye to fully recover and return to normal. Showing the camera his eye, Cejudo pointed out a small dot that remains as a reminder of the damage he sustained. He stressed how difficult it is to injure the human eye, but also how incredibly sensitive it becomes once damaged. In his closing thoughts, Cejudo reiterated that eye injuries are no joke and that fighters who experience them often deal with long-term effects. He empathized with Tom Aspinall, saying that even if the damage doesn't seem major at first, the recovery process can be tough and uncertain. For Cejudo, the incident highlighted how unpredictable combat sports can be, and how even small accidents can completely change the outcome of a fight. He concluded that while the UFC and fans will be disappointed, safety should always come first, and fighters deserve time to heal before stepping back into the octagon. Daniel Cormier revealed that he saw Tom Aspinall backstage after UFC 321 and provided an update on the heavyweight's condition following the controversial eye poke that ended his fight. Cormier explained that Aspinall still had bandages over his right eye and was unable to open it even 20 minutes after the fight had concluded. What surprised Cormier the most was that the right eye appeared more scraped and visibly damaged, even though it was the left eye that had taken the severe poke during the bout. He noted that the left eye was the one where the opponent's fingers went in deeply, almost knuckle-deep, which made the incident all the more concerning. Cormier described how unusual it was that Aspinall's right eye ended up with more visible external damage, while the left eye suffered the internal trauma. He suggested that the combination of scraping and poking might have caused significant irritation and swelling on both sides, leaving Aspinall unable to open one eye and in obvious discomfort. The former champion emphasized that these types of injuries can be very unpredictable, as sometimes the immediate damage is not visible but can still cause serious long-term issues. According to Cormier, Aspinall was clearly frustrated and disappointed backstage, not only because of the injury but also due to the crowd's initial reaction. He mentioned that Tom was upset when fans began booing, likely believing that he was exaggerating or looking for a way out of the fight. Cormier pointed out that once the replay was shown and viewers saw how deep the eye poke actually was, the audience's attitude shifted. People quickly realized the seriousness of the incident and turned their boos towards Ciryl Gane, who had unintentionally caused the foul. Cormier praised Aspinall for handling the situation with professionalism despite being in pain and emotionally drained. He said that seeing Tom in that condition reinforced just how real and dangerous such accidental fouls can be inside the octagon. The veteran commentator added that Aspinall's reaction showed the heart of a true fighter, someone who wanted to continue but was physically unable to do so. In closing, Cormier expressed his sympathy for Aspinall and acknowledged that no fighter ever wants a contest to end in that manner. He reiterated that safety must always come before pride, and incidents like this remind everyone, fighters, officials, and fans alike, of the risks these athletes take every time they step into the cage. Dana White has officially addressed the chaotic conclusion of UFC 321's main event between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, a fight that ended abruptly in the first round due to a brutal accidental eye poke. The incident left Aspinall unable to continue, bringing the highly anticipated matchup to a sudden and shocking halt. During the post-fight press conference, Dana confirmed that the UFC plans to rebook the fight as soon as possible. When asked for his reaction to the ending, he admitted that he felt the same way everyone else did. It was shaping up to be a great fight with a terrible ending. He expressed sympathy for both fighters, noting that the incident was no one's fault but still a huge disappointment for the fans, the athletes, and the organization. White highlighted Ciryl Gane's performance, pointing out that the French heavyweight had been counted out by many after his loss to Jon Jones, but looked impressive in the short exchange before the foul occurred. He said that Gane appeared sharp, composed, and well-prepared, showing major improvements in his overall game. Dana added that Aspinall, too, looked calm and confident, and that the brief moments of action suggested that the bout was going to be competitive and exciting. According to him, both fighters respected each other's power, and the matchup was clearly heading toward a memorable contest before fate intervened. Fans in attendance were stunned when the ringside doctor stopped the fight after only 4 minutes. Aspinall, visibly in pain, struggled to open his left eye, while Gane appeared frustrated and disappointed, knowing that the outcome meant little under the circumstances. Dana described the situation as a total pain in the ass for everyone involved, emphasizing that the organization immediately began working to reschedule the fight. He praised both men for handling the situation with professionalism and respect, noting that neither wanted to win or lose in that fashion. He called Aspinall a warrior and Gane a class act, adding that unfortunate moments like these are part of what makes mixed martial arts both unpredictable and dangerous. White also hinted that the rematch could headline another major card later in the year, depending on Aspinall's recovery timeline. Fans have already begun speculating that the bout might take place on the rumored UFC White House card, which could feature Jon Jones or Alex Pereira. Dana closed his comments by reassuring fans that the story between Aspinall and Gane is far from over. Once Tom is cleared to return, the two heavyweights will settle their unfinished business inside the octagon, and the division will finally get the decisive matchup everyone was hoping to see. Paddy Pimblett shared his thoughts on UFC 321 and did not hold back, calling it one of the worst pay-per-view events in UFC history. In a reaction video posted on his YouTube channel, Paddy expressed his disappointment over how the main event ended due to an accidental eye poke. He said that what happened to Tom Aspinall was not just a single eye poke, but that both eyes were affected. According to Paddy, it wasn't simply one finger making contact. The opponent's fingers went directly into both of Aspinall's eyes, which was a shocking and painful sight to witness. Pimblett emphasized how frustrating it was for the fight to end that way, especially since Aspinall had been out of competition for more than 15 months. He explained that this comeback was supposed to be one of the most anticipated fights of the year and a major test for Aspinall, yet it ended in an abrupt and disappointing fashion. Paddy remarked that if the fight were to end because of this foul, it would truly make UFC 321 one of the most anticlimactic and disappointing cards in UFC history. He commented on the replay of the incident, describing how clearly both fingers went into Aspinall's eyes and how the heavyweight's reaction made it clear that he couldn't see properly. Paddy noted that the look on Tom's face said it all, and it was obvious the fight couldn't continue. He added that while Ciryl Gane didn't intentionally commit the foul, he was still responsible for the result, as it directly led to the contest being stopped. Despite that, Pimblett expressed sympathy for Gane, acknowledging that accidents can happen in the octagon and that no fighter wants to win or lose in that manner. Pimblett agreed with commentator Jon Anik's remarks during the broadcast, saying that this was as anticlimactic as a fight could get and that the UFC would have to rebook the matchup. He insisted that a rematch is necessary because the fight had all the makings of a great contest before it was cut short. According to him, both fighters deserved another chance to settle things properly without the unfortunate interference of an accidental foul. Finally, Paddy called for changes to the UFC's gloves, saying that the current design makes it too easy for fingers to extend and cause eye pokes. He urged the organization to find a safer design to protect fighters and prevent similar incidents in the future, concluding that no event should ever end the way UFC 321 did. Tom Aspinall shared an emotional update following the aftermath of UFC 321, offering details about his eye injuries and responding to the backlash he faced from some fans. In behind-the-scenes footage released after the event, Aspinall explained that he was poked in both eyes during the fight, with his right eye suffering the most significant damage. He was immediately examined by an ophthalmologist, who confirmed that the decision to stop the fight was absolutely the correct one. The doctor explained that while the injury was serious enough to warrant medical concern, there were no signs of permanent or long-term damage to his vision. Aspinall was advised to return for a follow-up visit 2 days later to ensure that his eyes were healing properly and that his vision would return to normal over time. During the medical examination, the doctor reassured Tom that everything appeared stable and that the fight stoppage was necessary for his safety. The specialist emphasized that a fighter's health must always come first and that it was important for Aspinall to rest until fully cleared by medical professionals. Tom expressed relief that no lasting injury had been found, but admitted that the experience was terrifying. He said that while he has dealt with serious injuries before, such as knee damage, eye injuries feel far more frightening because of the uncertainty about recovery. He explained that when you injure a knee, you know it can heal with time and surgery, but when it comes to the eyes, there is always the fear that something might never fully return to normal. Reflecting on the incident, Aspinall called mixed martial arts an incredibly dangerous sport, acknowledging that accidents like these remind fighters of the real risks they face inside the octagon. He said that while injuries are part of the game, the fear of losing vision was something he had never truly experienced until now. Despite his pain and concern, Tom maintained a calm and professional attitude, showing gratitude toward the medical staff who quickly intervened and ensured his safety. Aspinall also addressed the backlash from some fans who booed him in the arena after the fight was ruled a no contest. He expressed his disappointment and frustration that people were treating the situation as if it had been his fault. Tom reminded everyone that he had been out of action for 14 months and had no desire for the fight to end that way. He said that being booed after suffering such a painful and accidental injury was unfair, adding that no fighter would ever want to experience something as severe as having another man's fingers driven knuckle deep into both eyes.